Welcome to part 2.
We're back.
If you haven't, make sure to check out part 1, and you'll be more up to date on where we left off.
Yep.
But thank you for joining our second part, and let's get right into it.
Because we start with the Lakers.
I want to
guess?
start with the
or the Raptors. Either
Lakers.
one.
I mean, we left off in the Western Conference, so I guess we could pick right up. So, the Lakers have been extremely disappointing this season.
Yeah, no shit.
Like, they're not even in the play-ins at the moment. And
they're not gonna be. Let's be real.
They're not gonna be, because the
LeBron's
Pelicans
out now.
The Pelicans and the Spurs have been kind of like playing. They're like obviously playing better, and they've won more games in their last 10. So
I mean, Spurs are on a winning streak.
Yeah. I don't know if what's gonna happen to them.
They have a
after
tough
this season.
schedule too.
Yeah, their schedule is hard at the end.
Yeah, they got Jazz, Nuggets, Warriors,
They have 2 games
Suns.
they can win, like guaranteed.
Wait, they got 2 Nuggets. Oh, it's over, bro.
They have 2 games they can win
They're
guaranteed.
not making the play-in. So next year,
They're not. They only win Thunder and Pelicans, right?
Oh, maybe. The Pelicans
Maybe
could beat them.
Well, who's
Yeah.
the second guaranteed then?
The Thunder. That's what I meant. Like that was like.
Okay,
I didn't think I after I said it and you said it, then I realized like the Pelicans. Could beat them.
That is a horrendous schedule. That might be the toughest schedule we've seen so far. Holy.
I just think that they're just like, this year's a dud. Let's go on to next year. But even next year, I don't think, like, Anthony Davis is made of glass, and
Yeah, no shit.
LeBron is old. I mean, he's still putting up ridiculous numbers.
LeBron won't be the issue next year.
Yeah.
It's just his team. I was excited in the beginning.
But honestly, their best signing from free agency last year was Malik Monk.
That's horrendous.
Malik
I don't
Monk.
know why. I don't know why they didn't pay Caruso. He's
I
such
know.
a good bench player. He brings you defense. He's an okay scorer.
You could have started him too. Like he's good enough to be a starter.
I mean, on this squad of
Dude,
he could be a starter.
He fit way more than Westbrook.
The beginning of the season, I was so excited for this team, and just the amount of disappointment.
Bro,
so sad.
This team, like 5 years ago,
my
would be
God.
the first seed. You'd have AD, LeBron, Westbrook, Melo, Dwight Howard. This team 5 years ago would have swept the Western Conference.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not like that anymore.
They're all old.
They're all old.
You know, that's actually a topic I want to talk about right quick. How y'all feel knowing that most of our childhood stars and what we're growing up with are actually going to retire in the next 5 years?
I've had a moment with that with baseball. Our starting catcher Buster Posey, he retired unexpectedly last season, and he was my first ever favorite player. And seeing him just retire, dude, I was crying at the retirement thing he had.
I've been feeling that with the NFL, because all the old quarterbacks that I watched my entire childhood are now retiring.
I mean, we're approaching that quickly in the NBA.
Yeah, quick. Steph,
and
they're all getting up there.
It's young stars everywhere, except the Heat, and I guess that's about it.
It makes it hard to have that any player that feels the same way, new. It's rough.
But let's talk about what the Raptors have been doing. They have gone up to the 6th seed and are playing really well right now.
Yeah, very well.
Right now they're slated against the Celtics, and I feel like that could be a 7-game series. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, dude, low key, the rest of their schedule is kind of rough.
The
Raptors?
Yeah.
The Raptors are known for beating better teams.
Yeah, but they're playing Timberwolves right now. They're losing.
They're losing 14.
They're playing the Magic, which that can be a win.
Is easy.
The Heat, who knows?
That's a coin. I would say that he's a coin flip in my opinion.
At least
the
right
Hawks
now
are kind of a coin flip.
I would say they have the advantage, but I agree. It's
76ers, that's a big game.
That's a loss.
The Rockets,
unless Harden chokes.
They'll beat the
Rockets and the Knicks.
Oh damn, the Raptors are getting smacked right now.
Yeah, it's not smacked.
14 points is not that.
That's
I mean,
fair.
3 threes, and then all of a sudden it's a 2-point game. I mean,
The Nuggets scored 43 in their first quarter. 43.
God.
Okay, so the Nuggets won tonight.
I mean, they're only up 16. Which
who are they playing?
The Pacers.
It's still most likely a W.
Still most likely, but you never know. But anyway, back to the Raptors. I could see them climbing up to 5 if the Bulls lose another game. But then whoever they play would be iffy because I don't think they could beat any of the top 4 teams except maybe the Heat.
I mean, Celtics without I'll say Celtics without Williams is going to be interesting.
That's a big loss, like we said.
That is a massive loss. I mean, and the Heat, if this team chemistry is still
game's close right now,
too. Right now,
it's 25 to 29 right now.
Mm-hmm. End of the first quarter.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
But the Raptors have been playing really well, and honestly, all they need to make that jump to like title contender is like a star, like a real. Like Pascal Siakam and Fred I'm sorry, I mispronounced it. Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet are really good, but I just feel like they need one more piece and they can put them over the hump. But realistically, no one wants to go play in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Everyone thought Siakam was going to be that next dude, and then he's just.
He's playing really well right now.
But he's not like that star factor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, honestly, whatever position they get, if they get a star, that's big. I mean, we were talking about, if Donovan doesn't want to be there, if Donovan went to the Raptors, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, but they have to trade for him, and do they want to give up
their contract?
Would they want to give up their core for?
He's making $30 million a year. Jeez. So that's a big contract.
Yeah, it is. Holy fuck! I didn't know that.
I mean, he's worth every penny of it.
Yeah,
no, I'm not disagreeing. It's just I don't know if the Raptors have that type of money.
I'm sure they'd figure something out if they really.
I ain't gonna lie, Siakam was playing granted it's only the first quarter, second quarter. He has not made a shot.
Yeah,
damn.
He's 0 for 3. He's not even touching the ball.
But the Bulls, I feel like they're going to be a first-round exit. No matter who they play, I feel like the Bulls just lose.
Yeah, because they've not proven themselves against big teams.
I mean, I'm going to be real. I really like the Bulls, but they don't beat the Sixers, if we're talking about right now. If they go down to 6, they don't beat the Celtics or the Bucks or the Heat. I mean,
the only person they realistically beat are the Cavs, the Hornets, or the Hawks.
Yeah.
Which they're not going to play.
They're not going to play, yeah. I mean, I'd say Celtics would be a long series, but I don't think they beat.
Yeah, and next year, I mean, you can always say that this was a really good first year for that core, but DeMar's going to get 1 year older next year. And I feel like they need another really good piece.
Yeah, I don't know though if DeMar's really going to fall off that much because he's honestly MVP candidate this year.
I mean, before this year, he was really not doing amazing.
Actually, he wasn't playing in the right system.
I actually want to talk about this, and since we're talking about the Bulls have a lot of players who have playoff experience, though. Mm-hmm. That might matter because DeMar, Levine now. I don't know how much Lonzo has, but he's still been playing well. Tristan Thompson, though.
Lakers?
Yeah.
I mean, Tristan Thompson has a lot. Vucevic has a lot.
Vucevic hasn't really been playing. He's been playing good, but not
I think he's
Orlando Magic Vucevic.
It's just the fact that they have, a roster that actually I don't think is going to fall under the pressure of what playoffs is like.
I don't know. So, it's just their record against the top teams is bad.
It's horrible. Last time I checked, it was 0-16 or something like that against top 4 or top 3 teams. They struggle against top teams, and that's a recipe for disaster in the playoffs.
I agree. It's just with all this drama in the Heat and the injuries and Celtics, could it just be enough for them to actually beat a top team because of it?
I still think they lose to both of them, those teams, in my opinion. I feel like they're just not there yet.
Okay.
And especially because Lonzo's out. He was been injured a lot, and he's good, and they kind of need him right now, but he's not there.
So teams over 500, so teams that are good, they're at 50% win total, 22-22.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's not good.
That's not. I mean, yeah, but all the way down to the 10 seed is above 500 right now.
Yeah.
So that is, and at least in the East.
I mean, in the Eastern, that's still impressive in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not a horrible team. I just say that against realistic matchups, they're probably going to be a first round exit.
Well, depends on who's their matchup right now.
Right now,
They
they
lose
would go
against
against the
Sixers.
Sixers.
Yeah, they lose.
They lose in 5 to the Sixers.
I just don't think
4.
the Sixers will be 4 by the time it's playoffs. I think it'll be Celtics.
Celtics are Heat at 4.
But that's my point, is if it's either of those teams, I think Bulls have a chance.
But Bulls also may drop to 6. Like,
well,
the Raptors are on a streak right now.
Okay, realistically, I mean, theoretically,
yeah,
Bucks and Sixers are going to be 1 and 2 because of the Heat and Celtics injury/drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even if they drop to 6, it's still going to be Celtics or Heat.
Yeah, but Heat could still, or Celtic. I mean, it's so close that you can't. Really, you can't say anything at this point.
That's like, what
we'll make our predictions when the final seeding is set, and we'll discuss it.
Which I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm so excited because the Eastern Conference is going to be so fun. I feel like the Western won't be as like.
I don't think there's going to be a single blowout in the game, other than potentially who the Bucks play. But if the Bucks play the Nets, it's not going to be a blowout.
Okay, breaking news, unrelated to the NBA. Bruce Arians just retired.
Are you serious?
Yes. Bruce Arians just retired.
Dude, no way.
He's retiring from coaching and moving to front office in the Bucks. I don't know. Maybe does Byron Leftwich come the head coach then?
I guess. I mean, like, it's kind of... Well, they still have time. But, like, there's no one really... to get.
Anyway, we'll talk about that more in our next episode, our football episode. But that's huge news.
Yeah, that's really big. Pause.
I didn't expect that at all.
Pause.
Also, I know the Knicks aren't really good right now, but I'd still like to talk about how much of a disappointment this season has been.
Yeah, so the thing I saw before this podcast started was Randall might force a James Harden exit out of the Knicks.
I think he's going for that.
Yeah.
He's not good enough to do that.
He's the best player in the team by far.
But that's not saying a lot.
It's not, but like if you put him on a team that can contend, he will be a massive piece.
I feel like he could be a good 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't been keeping up with the Knicks this year. Is D Rose still doing as good as he was last year?
He's been out all season.
Mm-hmm. Never mind.
That's kind of why they've been.
Because D Rose did amazing last year.
He was playing well last year.
RJ Barrett's not really playing well at all. He's playing okay. Like, he's not, like, helping them win.
I'm really sad about D Rose.
If I'm not mistaken, RJ Barrett has been playing really good since the All-Star break.
He's playing good, but he's not playing, like, astronomically what they need to get wins.
I guess that's... I mean... Yeah...
I mean, nah, his points aren't even that great in the last 5 games.
In the last 10, he's been averaging 25. Like, that's
solid.
That's, like... I mean, for him, that's really good.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, just against the Hornets. Wait, is that still going on right now?
Them Hornets versus Hornets.
Yeah.
It's 42-41 right now.
That's a close game.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of close.
He's averaging 20 on the dot this year.
It's just against these tougher teams that I'm looking at, he's doing a lot worse. I mean, like the Heat, he had 18.
Fair. I mean, 18's not horrible.
It's not horrible. It's just, I mean, like, again, that's not gonna be what they need to get anywhere.
But I'm just worried about what this Knicks team is gonna look like next year.
I mean, I'm hoping D Rose will come back fresh.
I do as well, but
because he played out of his mind last year.
He was really important to their 4-seed run last year.
Yeah,
but I was very happy to see him doing well again. It's been so long.
Do you think that they fire Thibodeau?
Maybe.
Because no one expected them to be a 4-seed last year, and he exceeded expectations. And
I think it's just their team chemistry is falling apart. It's the players. I don't think it's Thibodeau. Because I feel like it's always easy to blame the coach instantly. which I get.
I agree with that too. Not just chemistry, but injuries too. Y'all told me that D Rose has been out pretty much all year. I mean, that matters a lot.
Yeah, and like a lot of their players have not really shown up.
I'm gonna agree with that. I don't think it's Thibodeau's fault.
But he has a weird thing about not playing young players. Like like if your team's bad, put in the young players so they can develop. At least.
I mean, they don't really have anybody though, like that. Like
Obi Toppin.
I mean, Obi Toppin's played, but he's not done anything like. Emmanuel Quickly hasn't really.
I was so shocked when they picked Obi Toppin, bro.
Everybody was.
Like, I did not expect that to happen.
I mean, they have Cam Reddish now as well. Cam Reddish has been mid so far his career.
Yeah,
he's just mid. He's been mid all
he had a good playoff run last year against the Knicks. But like he had a good two or three games.
He peaked in college, and that was that story.
And he wasn't even that great in college.
The Raptors are closing in on the Timberwolves. They're only down by 4 now.
Good. He's also done for the year. Sorry, Cam Reddish is done for the year.
He's done for the year.
Yep, shoulder injury, shoulder separation.
I feel like Julius Randle could easily be on another team next year.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think guarantee he will be.
But where do you think he'll go? Who's gonna want him? Because he's been playing. They gave him a big contract after he played really well last year, and then now he's kind of.
He'd be really good in Atlanta.
Not playing up to that.
He could be really good in Atlanta.
I think a sleeper team is the Hornets.
They're just a small market. They give up someone.
I think the problem with what's going to be the Hornets is, let's say they make it past plans, so they're the 8th seed. Them playing against the Bucks or the Sixers, they're done for.
Wiped.
Yeah.
And I don't think him and Miles Bridges would work together. Like,
I mean, it'd be cool if the Hornets could even get into the playoffs. I mean, that'd be big for the Hornets. I mean, that's playoff experience. It's great, but I just they get swept. That's the reality. Is they get swept.
I don't know who realistically he would go to because. I mean, he's a ball-dominant player, and
he can play off the wing.
He can play off the wing,
but
are you trading a bunch of assets just for someone to play off the wing?
Like, let me see his contract.
Oh, he signed like a really big contract.
I'm wondering like what is. Oh,
I feel like it's upward of 30 to like up in that like max range of contracts.
I'll make sure to look on Saturday how well the Hornets do against the Sixers. I think they're gonna get stomped, but I mean, if they actually do semi-well, maybe I have a different talk next week about.
I mean, I thought that they were gonna
presence.
get stomped by the Jazz, but they pulled that one out.
They did.
The Hornets are a really fun team to watch.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be good in a couple of years when Melo is like an all-star.
So real quick, Randall is on a 3-year, $18 million a year contract.
Right now?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's 3 years left, or
2 years left. Sorry, like in total is 2 years after this year.
Okay, that's not horrible.
Actually,
it's not.
This is his last year on contract.
I thought they extended him after last year.
Upcoming contract extension, yeah. It hasn't started yet, but it will start next year. So I mean, he could let go of the contract.
Yeah.
He could he is technically allowed to be like, I don't want this contract anymore.
Would he be a good 2 with Luka? Do you think?
Yeah. 100%. He would thrive with Luka because Luka is so good passing wise.
Yeah, and he's a good or at least last year he was a good defender.
Maybe with the Spurs, him and
DeJounte?
Yeah, DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte's gonna be good.
Very good. Him and those two be a very good duo.
I didn't plan on bringing this up, but do you think Pop after this year calls it a career?
I don't know. I dread the day when Pop.
I think it's
retires.
likely because of what happened with his wife, the passing of her.
And he has the record of all-time wins.
He has nothing more to prove.
I feel like he won a bunch of chips with the Spurs, and I feel like he just rides into the sunset.
Yeah. I feel bad for DeJounte Murray because that's a big loss for him.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Because no one ever he is a big reason why the Spurs have been consistent all the time.
But they're probably gonna try to just pick like hire up someone like the assistant coach or whatever.
Yeah,
and
they
keep
might make
most of the staff together.
Yeah, that's what seems most likely. I feel like.
Yeah, and I feel it. I just am gonna be sad when he because like it's inevitably gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, that's a big part.
He's the greatest coach of all time.
100%.
Like he has the most wins. What he did with the Spurs and their fifth, like they didn't have like a small dynasty and go away. They were consistently good for 15 years.
And it was also insane that they put pieces in and out, and they were still good.
Yeah,
like
they won five rings in 15 years because they won in '99, and then I don't know the exact years, but I know that Tim Duncan won 5, so I'm assuming that it's the same.
I'm looking right now.
But like, I'm gonna be sad when he retires because I just feel like just losing someone like that in the NBA is like a hit. Like, he's not dying, obviously, but like losing someone like that is like important.
Yeah, he has 5.
And yeah.
I never knew this. Fun fact:
What?
he was assistant coach for the Warriors in 1992-93. He left. He started in San Antonio, left there, be assistant coach in Golden State, assistant coach in San Antonio, and he came back to San Antonio. And he's the head coach ever since.
Yeah, what a good career for the guy.
Him.
Giannis dropped 40 last night.
Yeah, so we had that big
what a shocker.
That big block.
Yeah.
I was about to say, what a shocker. It's fucking Giannis.
Giannis just finds a way to
He's a
drop
monster.
a shit ton of
He's
points.
a monster.
I think that's kind of everything.
I just looked at this, and I just want to know your opinion on it. Cade Cunningham is starting to play really well, and
I'm happy.
so is Sadiq Bey.
Which is insane.
And I feel like in a couple years, the Pistons might be back to relevancy.
If they can build around those two, and those two can either get better, 100%.
Yeah, like I've watched a couple of Pistons games, and Cade Cunningham looks really good.
He's solid.
At least recently. Like,
I think
if they build around him correctly.
Yeah, you go.
Like, if they build around him correctly, they could be like playoff contenders in the next 3 to 4 years.
I agree. I think he's just what's it called? Slow to get up to speed with the NBA. I feel like.
Yeah, but once he's at the speed of the NBA,
exactly. He's gonna. What's the term I'm looking for? It's just taking him longer to get used to it.
Yeah,
I feel like, which is fine. He'll still be very good. I feel like. Was he deserved number 1? Probably not. But.
I mean, if he maybe in the long run, he will, but I don't know as of right this second because a lot of the high draft picks.
Yeah.
And do you think the Pelicans will be competitive next year with Zion back, with the way they're playing right now? Because their roster
if Zion comes back
looks like, I mean, he's still on his rookie contract next year.
Yeah, I mean, if he comes back, he can play.
He's starting a week ago. He's been cleared for one-on-one workouts.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic, but yeah.
I mean, you never know because he's been out a while.
I think if he does, he has something to prove now because all New Orleans hates him right now. So
because everyone believes he got fat. I don't personally believe that he's overweight.
He got bigger.
But he's. I mean, when you injure your leg, that you can't work out as hard.
Yeah.
Obviously. But
that just reminds me of the Harden shit.
Harden, the way that he forces his way off teams is that he fakes getting chunky and then.
I don't think he fakes it. I think he's he can morph into being fat.
Yeah,
whatever.
Out of nowhere, when he gets traded, he looks like.
He just goes to a strip club.
50 pounds.
Goes to a strip club, eats a lot of chicken wings. Then he just.
Is that all you can eat buffet, bro?
Yep.
Where after he got Houston, before he got traded from Houston, he looked so big.
He was huge.
And then his first game back from in the on the Nets, he looked like he lost 40 pounds.
So slim. That photo of him in that blue top with the Rockets is insane.
It was
nuts.
crazy.
Yeah.
But I think the Pelicans next year could be competitive with Zion. Like their roster.
Because BI is really good. I'm pretty sure they have Josh Hart still.
They have CJ McCollum.
CJ McCollum, yeah, and he's been like the best trade I feel like from the offseason.
They have
free agency.
Jonas Valanciunas, which is pretty good.
He's always solid. Like
yeah.
Wait,
like
how much longer does Zion got on his contract?
I think this is his 3rd year, and I don't know how long rookie contracts are in the NBA.
I think they're 3 years.
Yeah, usually the 3 is what I was gonna say, but
Their 4-year rookie contracts are 4 years in the NBA, so he has at least next year.
It's had to have changed. There's no way it's been 4 this entire time.
And I feel like if he comes back and the Pelicans play well next year, that he'll be more likely to stay. But
yeah, if he comes back and he does well, but the Pelicans don't show up, I'm curious if he'll want to go somewhere that's currently with like a one-man army, like the Nuggets or Mavericks.
I feel like his entire like NBA career, everyone's been wanting him to go to the Knicks. Because like that's where it seemed like he wanted to be drafted, and the Knicks didn't end up getting the 1st overall pick, and they got the 3rd, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And they like. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't sign an extension and then went there.
Maybe.
But I miss watching him play. He was so fun to watch when he was on the court.
The problem with Knicks, in my opinion, is I think Zion wants to win.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah.
Like he's very good still.
I feel like he has to be convinced to go to the Knicks, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Like that stretch he had when he came back with the with his first injury.
The Pelicans?
Was insane. Dude, he blocked LeBron twice.
I feel like he also wants to be in like a big market where he could be like like a bigger name in the NBA. Like I feel like that's also.
Well, I feel like it really depends on just how good you are. Because I mean, LeBron was a big face when he went to Cleveland, and they were a small market team.
Zion has the potential to be that big.
Exactly. I think he could do it in New Orleans. I don't feel like it's a bad fit for him. You know.
I just feel like if he gets injured 1 or 2 more times, he has the potential to be a bust, and I really don't want to say that, but
because he has too much talent.
He has too much talent. Like, I'm reminiscing on like Greg Odom.
I think even with Greg Odom, it wasn't like that much talent you could see with like Zion.
It's not on the same scale, but like it's
the same scale would be saying D Rose.
Yeah,
but D Rose had an MVP season, so
that's true.
Like, and Zion hasn't. Yet.
Well, think of how young D Rose was too. Like to achieve that, D Rose. You know, it's saying something when Michael Jordan himself was saying that he could have surpassed him.
If I got genie wishes, I've been low-key thinking about. I wish D Rose never got hurt.
Oh, dude, yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah, like, man, he would have been.
He could have brought a ring to Chicago.
He could have bought multiple rings.
Yeah, I don't think it would have just been one.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been more difficult since LeBron was like the East for like 10 years, but he would have had multiple chances.
I don't know.
It just didn't work out. Because like LeBron was in the finals in the East for like 9 years in a row or whatever. It was like ridiculous because you went from the Heat. Didn't the Heat go to 4 in a row? They lost 2 and won 2, right?
Yes, and then he went to Cleveland, and then went every year he was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
No, he went every year he was in Cleveland. Yeah.
I feel like the Cavs would have won in 15-16 if Kyrie and Kevin Love weren't injured.
Means 14-15.
Maybe.
Yeah, because it was 14. Because 16 is when
14,
they won.
15.
They won in
14,
2016.
15.
Yeah, I agree.
And,
I completely agree.
Do you remember what Kevin Love did to Kelly Olynyk did to Kevin Love?
Like wrestling moved his shoulder out of place.
Yeah, just like whoosh.
Yeah.
Man, what was he? Yo, the Pacers have brought it back.
Have
87 to 86.
Damn.
It's a 1-point game right now.
God. So we got 10 minutes left of this meeting.
Nuggets are throwing, cut.
Nuggets are throwing. They're dead ass throwing.
And I felt like that was not
and
that
the
hard
Raptors are winning now too.
Really?
That's good. That I wanted to see.
I think the Raptors have a lot of potential to upset someone this season. I know I've said it multiple times, but like
I mean, you say that, but you didn't say it multiple times. You're saying if they get in the playoffs, do they beat any of the top four? I was the one arguing for as long as it's not Bucks or Sixers, they beat Celtics or Heat now.
Yeah. Honestly. I feel like now that I'm gonna have to sit down and think about my East and who's gonna come out of it, because
I feel like so much has happened actually in the last week that even West is kind of like I have to sit down and think about that too. Because wasn't Lakers like 9 last week, and now they're 11?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. They just keep dropping, dropping like a rock.
Keep dropping, bro.
I mean, they won't go below 11, but they don't have that difficult of a.
They're 4 games
schedule.
Above the Pacers.
Yeah.
Or not the Pacers.
Not the Pacers.
Yeah.
Man, Dame needs to get out of there.
He's stuck on a contract.
It's too late, bro. Yeah, it's too late.
I think
he shouldn't have re-signed. That's the reality.
I also think if he gets if he gets traded anywhere, he has to be the 2 or the 3. He can't be the number 1 guy on a championship. I don't think he could be the number 1 on a championship team anymore.
I don't agree with that.
I think he definitely can. You just gotta give him the right team. Not just do the Blazers and be like, oh yeah, we'll give you someone who's kind of like you. You can figure it out.
I mean, you put him on, for example, if you put him on like the Nuggets, him and Jokic
could fuck shit up. God.
But Jokic is the number 1 on that team.
But they'll be like.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but still, he won't be like a number 2. Like, oh, he's a little guy. Like, you can still give him the ball, and he will get the job
obviously, done.
But I think they'd be not neck and neck, but like Jokic isn't like that much a number 1 over him. Is what I would say personally. Dame's still good.
He's still really good.
I'm not saying he's still. I'm not saying he's not still good. I just don't think he has the ability to carry a team to the championship anymore.
I mean, not a dog shit team.
Well, yeah. He's been on a dog. They've had 1 or 2 good teams.
I think he'd be the one on the Clippers. I'd put him
over Kawhi.
I'd put him over Paul George.
I'd put him 3 on that team.
I put him 2.
I put him 3.
I put him at 2.
Who do you put him under, Joaquin?
Under Kawhi.
Okay, and then you put him above George?
Yeah.
Okay. I respect that one. I don't respect putting him under George, though.
Hey, I don't know, man.
Like, don't get me wrong, Paul George is still really good.
I'm not saying he's bad. It's literally that Dame is just that good.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely better than George.
Yeah. Maybe if he's been playing this year, he would have been able to change my mind. It's just maybe he's been out.
I mean, Dame, he's only played 29 games this year, so.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it was a bold statement to say he was over Kawhi. Kawhi is just a monster. If Kawhi comes back fully healthy, I don't know if anyone could go over Kawhi. Yeah. That would even show up. That's terrifying.
I just hope Kawhi comes back and he's still Kawhi.
Yeah, that's the concern that I'm bringing to the table personally.
But considering Paul George came back and he dropped 34 his first game,
yeah, no, that's fair.
I believe they had the Clippers give it enough time to make sure they're 100% themselves.
Different injuries, but I agree.
I mean, obviously, but what injury did Kawhi? He tore his ACL, right?
I think so.
ACL injuries also aren't what they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be career enders, and now.
But you never come back from an ACL 100% though. Almost never. I wouldn't if I'm being honest, I wouldn't put it past Kawhi to come back 100, just because he's like that. But I wouldn't be surprised just because of how ACL tears are. I mean, that's a horrendous. Injury.
This is completely unrelated because it's a different sport. But Joe Burrow tore his ACL, came back, and was a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, true. That's true.
No, it's a different world now today than it was,
10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for part 2 and episode 4 of our Boneheaded Sports.
Yep.
Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Leave a 5-star rating on Spotify.
Thumbs up as well.
thumbs up on like us on YouTube and follow us on TikTok and Twitter, and have an amazing rest of your day.
Adios.
Later.